It's taken me a little while to get to the finale of the Inspector Wears Skirt series with part 4, which was released in 1992, because I found that the returns were getting less and less with every film. I loved the first one, and then 2 wasn't as great, 3 was not that great either. I was a little bit dreading 4, but surprisingly 4's a little bit of an upturn. 4 becomes something that's rather enjoyable. It definitely adds more action into the film, so it creates a more comedy to action ratio that I better attune to. It's got Cynthia Khan and Moon Lee as 2 new students into the Skirts programme.
Wow! 你啊，正一仆街冚家產嚟㗎，見到女又發晒姣，差啲俾你害死啊！你連狗公都不如啊！你以後唔好再嚟揾我啊！
Now, this programme is on its last legs. It's starting to be phased out. It's just not achieving the goals they once did, and the higher-ups are wanting to close it down just as soon as they can. But a couple of the girls decide to try and bring back some of the old heads in this one. You know, Sandra Noonan, Cara Hu. It becomes a kind of drawing these people back in. So we get the new Skirts, along with some of the more classical older Skirts. And it's great to see these characters back. You know, at the start of the movie, you get a kind of rundown of where they've all gone, where all of the Skirt characters went after they left this group, which I thought was particularly great, and then especially when they start to draw them back in. Now, I liked the new ones, and getting the addition of the older cast as well was particularly great, especially when it comes to the action set pieces, especially when we get to that final third where it ramps up a crazy situation which is kind of comedic and action-fueled at the same time, and it works tremendously well. The Inspector Wears Skirts Part 4 was surprising. Surprising because of the cast and because of the charisma and the chemistry that the leads bring to this one. Now, you do get a lot of jokes in this, and there are a lot of misses, but I'd say there are a good number of hits as well. It's the action set pieces that I particularly enjoyed in this, where you get to see people's action skills just shine. They are great. These are people that can do great action set pieces, and they allow them to do them. There are some characters who are there just for comic relief, but there's not that many of them. So even though they're just maybe 1 or 2 characters that fit into that mould, I can deal with that because they're not monopolising the screen time whenever they're there. There is some kid-centric action at the end of this one, and it's a little bit eye-rolling, a little bit formulaic and trite, but you know what? At that point, I was on board with the characters they'd brought back, on board with the situation they had built up here. I understood the kind of weight in this world of where everything stood, and I was just waiting for the carnage to unleash, and unleash it does, and it was pretty fantastic. I was really surprised with the Inspector Wears Skirts Part 4. I was expecting another little bit of a drop and found it to be an uptick. One of those uptick movies where I kind of wondered, is there a Part 5? Is there something else to look forward to? I'm glad to have seen all 4 of these films. I still feel that the first one is by far the best and the one I would go back to again. Part 4 might be one that I chuck on after that to check out. I'd love to know your thoughts on the Inspector Wears Skirts Part 4, whether you loved it, hated it. Did you make it this far into the series? Did you give up after Part 2? Let me know your thoughts on the entire series in the comment box below, where we can have a chit chat about this. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership programme, manvfilm.com. Always, how much you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.